Hey, Amanda with Feral Farms. So let's just talk about all the negativity. Let's don't, actually. We all know that it's there. We're all feeling it. Here's my encouragement to you. You come from a long line of people who have overcome. It is built into your DNA. It is who you are as a person. You may not have realized this yet. We have been lulled into long seasons of prosperity where we haven't had to struggle like they did. And I am grateful for that. I'm sure you are too. But here we are. Things are changing. So what are we going to do? We're going to change with it. We're going to adapt. We're going to make smart choices. We're going to be wise about where we spend our money and how we invest our time and our energy. We are going to focus on the basics of taking care of our families and helping our communities. If you eat a lot of tomatoes and that is a staple, it's something that you love, grow some. Become less dependent on a system that's struggling. I'm not going to say that it's falling or that it's broken. It's definitely struggling. I'm not educated in that enough to be able to tell you one way or the other. But I know this, if you feel like you are insecure or not planted on as firm of a foundation, if you are worried about what is coming, do something. Do something to prepare. If that is take up 2 or 3 more jobs so that you can get out of debt, pay off your mortgage, do it. There is a ridiculous amount, an indescribable amount of freedom in not having a mortgage. It's indescribable. My encouragement would be that you did your best to get out from underneath as much debt as possible. My second encouragement to you would be, again, if you eat, figure out the staple things that you eat and number one, grow them. If that's not an option, then pick up a little extra at the store every time you go. You don't have to run to the bulk stores and bring a semi home. We're not there. We're not there. We don't run on panic or fear. That's not a place to live from. That actually is exhausting. I may have lived that way for a long time. It's exhausting. I feel like that's actually where this came from. I don't know. I earned them. I have survived lots of things, and you will too. It's in us, and we can do the hard things. It's wisdom to be prepared and to keep an eye on things that are going on around you. Be aware of your environment for sure. Learn to do some things that you're not comfortable with. Go without some things that may not be there for you. I don't go to the store very often, but learn to make bread. It's pretty easy. You can get a bread maker for like $60. You can make a loaf of bread every day if that's something that and most of them are electronic, right? You can do this. You can start it. You can start a small garden. You can start a community garden. How fun would that be? I think they used to call them victory gardens before, 100 years ago, where the community got together and planted a garden. We're seeing that more and more in urban areas where people are being paid to not manicure their lawns. They're being paid to let it kind of go feral, actually, and let nature kind of take over because we are in dire need of pollinators. So I know out here for me, I'm in southeastern Oklahoma, 7B. I live in an exceptionally rural area surrounded by national forest, right? So if there were ever going to be a sanctuary for pollinators, this would be it. So you would think my garden would be amazingly pollinated. And it was, mostly. But, it's like I was talking the other night. My cantaloupe wasn't pollinated enough. That's why it didn't produce as well. My watermelon, the same way. I would guess that's part of the issue with my squash plants, my yellow squash. I had no idea that I may need to hand pollinate. I have bees. Not enough. I remember 20 years ago, the environmentalist, right, being those crazy tree huggers right? That we're like, save the bees, and we're gonna have trouble and all these. And I thought then, oh, that's just people being extreme. But I will tell you, I'm seeing it. If I am seeing it on my little speck of nowhere, I can only imagine what it's like with larger farmers, actual producers. Now, of course, they have different products available to them. They may not require there's plenty of crops that don't require that kind of pollination, but there's plenty that do. And if I am struggling here on my small little speck of nothing, I mean, honestly, I was shocked. It was a gut check for sure. So I've since bought seed to create a pollinator garden. I'll be doing that. I'll shoot some videos of that. But I have plenty of seeds that are going to attract pollinators and keep them here. I also will likely add bee boxes to the farm, which is not something I ever thought I would ever say. I'm allergic to bees, so I don't know how well this is going to go, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give it the old college try. My encouragement to you is to not be afraid. Fear will not take you nearly as far as preparedness, gratitude, wisdom. You can do this. You can do hard things. Take a deep breath. Make a list of the things that would make you feel secure and work on it. Plan your work and work your plan. I hope that blesses your heart. If it doesn't, I hope you find something that does. I'll see you soon.